Hello friends, Wilfred Sequeira here. Welcome back to the channel. If you always wanted to invest but didn't know where to start, today's video is just for you. I am going to show you how to start an SIP in mutual funds step by step with real life examples so it's super easy to understand. Stick around till the end. I'll also share a few pro tips that can help you grow your investments faster. Alright, let's begin. Hey investors, are you looking for a smarter way to grow your wealth? Let's talk about the SIP. SIP stands for Systematic Investment Plan, and it's simply the most disciplined way to invest in mutual funds. Instead of a huge lump sum, a fixed small amount of money is automatically debited from your bank account every month. This money is then invested in your chosen mutual fund, and over time that money compounds and grows, leveraging the power of compounding. You can start an SIP with just 500, 1000 or 5000 a month. It's a powerful automated savings habit. Think of it, it's like a recurring deposit but with the potential for much higher returns. Ready to see how this disciplined habit pays off? In our next segment, we'll dive deep into the top 5 benefits of starting an SIP. Hit that subscribe button and let's get started. Let's talk about the biggest advantage of SIP, the incredible power of compounding. When your returns start earning returns, your money grows like magic over time. Even small investments, if done consistently, can turn into a huge corpus. For example, if you invest just 2000 a month for 20 years at an average 12% return, you'll have over 19 lakhs. That's the power of compounding. Time and consistency are truly your best friends. Next, with SIPs, you don't have to worry about market ups and downs. When markets are high, you buy fewer units. When markets fall, you automatically buy more units. This is called rupee cost averaging, and it helps reduce your average purchase cost over time. In short, you don't have to time the market. Your SIP automatically does that for you. SIPs effortlessly build the habit of regular investing. Since money automatically gets deducted every month, you stay disciplined, no excuses, no missed month. It's like setting up your gym membership for your money, consistent workouts for your wealth. The best part is the accessibility. You can start an SIP with as little as 500 per month. You can increase, pause, or stop it anytime. No long term lock in, no paperwork hustle. It's fully online and flexible. Finally, SIPs help you hit your biggest goals. Whether it's your dream car, child's education, or early retirement, SIPs helps you achieve long-term goals with ease. You can even start multiple SIPs for different goals. Remember, SIP is not just an investment, it's your personal wealth building partner. Start yours today. Before you start any SIP, the first and most important step is to define your financial goals. Ask yourself, what are we investing for? We invest to achieve our goals. These goals can be short-term goals, those we aim to achieve or manage within the next 1 to 3 years. These are critical for maintaining financial stability and improving our quality of life now. As you can see, they cover a range of needs. First, we have essential savings goals, like building an emergency fund for unexpected events, accumulating school fees for immediate education, saving up for buying a new gadget like a phone or a laptop, or planning for buying a new appliance such a TV or a refrigerator. We also see the enjoyable goal of saving for a domestic vacation. Next, short-term planning involves managing our ongoing financial responsibilities. This includes covering your credit card debt, making regular personal loan EMI payments, and ensuring you have funds set aside for life health insurance premiums. By clearly defining and prioritizing these goals, we can create an effective financial roadmap for the immediate future. Next up, we look at our medium-term goals. These are the big projects that usually span about 3 to 5 years. Think of them as the next significant milestones in your life. Maybe it's finally saving up for that major home renovation. Perhaps it's purchasing a new car or motorcycle, or it could be planning a huge family adventure like that dream trip to Europe. By clearly defining these larger medium term goals, we can do something critical. We can properly calculate exactly how much you need to save each month using a systematic investment plan or SIP to achieve them comfortably and stress free. Finally, we shift our focus to the long term goals, anything spanning 5 years or more. This is where we build the foundation for your future security. The big goals here include building a substantial retirement corpus. This is essential to ensure a financially secure and truly comfortable life after you stop working. Achieving financial independence. This could mean creating a diversified investment portfolio of stocks, mutual funds, and even real estate to accumulate serious wealth over time. Think about purchasing a new house or aggressively accelerating the repayment of a long term home loan to become debt free sooner. For many Indian families, funding your children's higher education, especially if they study abroad, and their marriage are significant priorities. These are major financial milestones that require dedicated, disciplined, and long-term savings and investment plans. Now that you have clearly defined your financial goals, the next critical step is to estimate how much money you will actually need and by when, while also accounting for a major factor, inflation. Let me show you how this works with a simple real-world example. Meet Riya. She is 25 years old and wants to buy her dream car. Her target price today is 8 lakhs and she wants to achieve this goal in 5 years. Here is the catch. With an assumed 6% inflation rate, that 8 lakh car in 5 years won't cost 8 lakhs. The actual amount she'll need will be closer to 11 lakhs. But here is the good news. If Riya plans smartly and chooses investments that can potentially give around a 10% expected return, she can easily reach this inflation adjusted goal comfortably through a disciplined systematic investment plan or SIP. The key lesson here is simple. Always define a clear target amount and a time frame before you start your SIP. This simple step ensures you plan realistically and helps you stay on track towards achieving your goals without letting inflation erode your purchasing power. Now Ria needs to figure out the final crucial number. How much SIP she needs to invest every month to hit her future goal. So she opens her financial planning tool. She simply enters the three key details we just discussed. She inputs the current goal amount as 11 lakhs. She sets the investment duration as 5 years. Based on long-term equity performance, she keeps her expected returns at a realistic 10%. Once she hits calculate, the app instantly shows her the exact SIP needed. Final number comes to just over 14,000 per month. That's the power of planning. If Ria consistently invests 14,000 every single month, she can comfortably reach her financial goal, even after correctly adjusting for that 6% annual inflation. When planning your investments, the first step is choosing the right fund type, equity, debt, or hybrid. The choice depends entirely on two things: your financial goals, time horizon, and your personal comfort with risk. Let's break it down by goal duration. For short term goals like building an emergency fund or saving for a large purchase within 3 years, you absolutely need low risk options. The best funds here are money market funds and ultra short term debt funds. Their focus is on capital preservation and easy liquidity. If your goals are medium term, spanning 3 to 5 years, such as saving for a car or a down payment, you can afford moderate risk. The best funds are balanced or hybrid funds, which blend both equity and debt, and also bond funds. These offer a great balance of growth potential and stability. Finally, for long term goals like retirement or funding your children's education, look at a time horizon of 5 or more years. Over this long period, you can take on higher responsibility for potentially greater rewards. The best funds here are equity funds. The power of compounding equity returns is best utilized over the long run, helping you beat inflation and reach those major life goals. Remember, to have a successful investment journey, you must align your goals, your risk tolerance, and your fund choice. The crucial point is this: different goals need different fund types. Let's look at Arjun, who is 30 years old and works in IT. He has two very different goals and he invests in two different ways. For his retirement, he invests in equity mutual funds. because they are perfectly suited for long-term growth and maximizing returns over decades. But for his emergency fund, he chooses debt mutual funds. Why? Because they are lower risk, more stable, and the money is easily accessible when he needs it. The lesson is simple. Always match the fund type to your goals, duration, and your comfort with risk. Before you invest in any mutual fund, it's important to check the risk level of the scheme. This is shown through something called the riskometer, which ranges from low all the way to very high. If you prefer stability and wants to avoid big fluctuations, you should look at low or moderate risk funds. But if you are comfortable with market ups and downs in return for potentially higher growth, then high risk equity funds may be a better fit. The key point is this: your investment should always match your risk appetite and your financial goals. Choose wisely and invest accordingly to what you can handle, both financially and emotionally. Before investing in any mutual fund, always check its past performance and the fund manager's track record. Look at how the fund has performed over 3, 5, and 7 years. This helps you understand its consistency. You can find this information on websites like amphiindia.com, the official AMC websites, or other financial portals. Remember, past performance does not guarantee future returns, but it does help you to choose a fund that has been managed well and has performed steadily over time. Another important thing to check before investing is the total expense ratio, or TER. It shows how much the mutual fund charges you to manage your money, including admin fees, management costs, and advertising expenses. A lower expense ratio means more of your return stays with you, and usually funds with a higher AUM or assets under management tend to have lower expense ratios. So always compare the total expense ratio when choosing between mutual funds. It can make a big difference in the long run. You can find all this info on AMFI's website, the AMC's website, or financial portals. You can begin your SIP journey in multiple ways, directly from the AMC's website, through a mutual fund app, or even through your broker's platform. All these options are simple and beginner friendly. Just choose the ones you are most comfortable with. In fact, most platforms today let you start investing within minutes. I'm leaving the link of one of the apps in the description box. You can click on the link and start your investment journey. Before you can start investing, you must complete the mandatory KYC, Know Your Customer Verification. This is required by SEBI regulations to ensure all your investments are securely linked to your official documents. The good news is you can do this quickly online through eKYC. What you will need is your PAN card, your Aadhaar card, or a valid address proof and ID, your bank account and nominee details, a device ready for a quick selfie video or OTP verification. The next step is to start your SIP. Choose your monthly amount, select the date, enable autopay, and confirm. That's it. Your SIP is now active and your money will be invested automatically every month. Stay consistent, stay patient, and let compounding do its magic. The final step is to monitor and review your SIPs. First, always review performance annually. This helps you assess if the fund is meeting its objectives. Second, don't stop SIPs during market dips. Dips are opportunities to buy more units at a lower price, which enhances your long-term returns. Consistency is key. Third, rebalance when needed. As your portfolio grows, its risk profile might shift. Rebalancing brings it back in line with your original goals and risk tolerance. And finally, always focus on long-term growth. Remember this key disclaimer. The past performance of any mutual fund is not necessarily an indicative of future returns of the scheme. Stay disciplined and focus on your goal horizon. By applying these 4 simple rules: annual review, simple consistency, timely rebalancing, and long-term focus, you will be well positioned for successful mutual fund investing. Let's quickly recap the steps to start your SIP. Step 1. Define your financial goals. Know exactly what you are investing for. Step 2. Choose the right mutual fund that matches your risk and timeline. Step 3. Pick a trusted platform to invest through. Step 4. Complete your KYC. It's a one-time process. Step 5. Start your SIP with the amount you are comfortable with. And finally, monitor and review your SIP regularly to stay on track. These simple steps can put your wealth building journey on autopilot. So, to wrap it up, starting an SIP is simple and it's one of the most effective ways to build wealth over time. The real magic lies in consistency and patience. Just keep investing month after month and remember, start early, stay invested, and let your money grow while you focus on living your life. And that's how you start your SIP in mutual funds, step by step. Remember, the earlier you start, the bigger your financial freedom later. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more investing tips and share it with a friend who is just getting started. So if you haven't started a SIP yet, today is the best day to begin. Thanks for watching and I see you in my next video. Until then, happy investing, happy returns.